Another sterling pitching performance from the Los Angeles Dodgers. The Brewers have not had an at-bat with a runner in scoring position against a Los Angeles Dodgers starter. They've led this series for 11 minutes. Two pitchers in back-to-back games go 8+ innings. We haven't seen that since 2016. It was Bumgarner and Cueto. So I'm going to start with you, Pedro. What are we watching right now? Because I don't think I've ever seen this. In fact, I know we've never seen it.
Well, what I'm watching here is a very complete Dodger unit that's out there with a mission. And just like I was talking today in an interview, I said, this team, regardless of all the hype, all the money, and all the things that people want to really bring out about the Dodgers, they understand what they're into. They understand their business. They put everything aside. You know, the stardom in Hollywood, the fame, everything, where they're from, and they come to the field to play. That says a lot about the character that they have in that clubhouse and how those guys behave. They don't really pay attention to anything else but the game. I think they have been pitched so well that it makes them look like they're struggling, but I don't think they are. They just were overmatched by Blake Snell and Yamamoto.
Kike on third, one out in the seventh, another 2-2. Ground ball, base hit right field. Kike trots home Otani with an RBI base hit to announce himself to the championship series. 4-1 LA.
Well, just a big at bat, and that count went to 2-2, fouled off a couple of pitches, and then finally winds up with a base hit.
Here's the 2-2 pitch. It's a ground ball past Vaughn and into right field, and it'll score another run for the Dodgers as Hernandez jogs home from third. 4-1 Los Angeles. Drawn in infield to try to cut that run off at the plate. If they're playing at normal depth, it's an out, but the run probably scores anyway.
Dodger complete game in the postseason. Lima time. 2004 Division Series Game 3 against St. Louis. The last complete game in the postseason anywhere in the majors, Justin Verlander in 2017 in the ALCS 8 years ago tonight. But even if Yamamoto doesn't go complete game here, Mo, it will give the organization their first instance of back-to-back starters of 8 innings in a postseason since 1988. That was in the NLCS as well. Games 1 and 2 as well. Oral Hershiser, Tim Belcher. Can Yamamoto put Contreras away? Fly to center. Dean lost it for a moment. He's got it. He's coming in and makes the routine catch. 1 out. Pitch 107. A 1-1. Chopped back toward the mound. Yamamoto fields it on the right side. Runs toward Freddie Freeman. Gives it to him, and that's out number 2. 0-2 on Vaughn. Pitch 111 coming from Yoshinobu Yamamoto. Strike 3, swinging. Yoshinobu Yamamoto goes the distance in game 2. The Dodgers win 5-1 and take a 2-0 series lead in this championship series. Yamamoto's first complete game of his major league career and the first Dodger complete game in a postseason game since Lima time in 2004. The first pitch of the night, a leadoff home run to Jackson Chourio. The next 110, absolutely nothing.
8 from Blake last night and now 9. What can you say about the way they worked tonight?
It almost felt like Yoshi said he had to one-up Blake last night.
And he did.
Yeah, he did. He went the full distance, and both guys unbelievable. Had a really good idea what they wanted to do. And for Yoshi, giving up the leadoff homer to not let that face him at all is incredible.
Congratulations, Max.
Thank you.
But Teoscar, I got to ask about the pitcher. What did we see from Yamamoto this evening?
I mean, it's just amazing. He's been doing that. That's nothing new for us and for anybody. He's just doing it in the postseason now. He's a superstar. He's been showing us last year. He was struggling last year at the beginning, but then he settled in and then just became Yamamoto, the same guy that pitched in Japan. to win those MVP and Cy Youngs is just showing it now in the MLB.
Snell and Yamamoto looking
Shaq
like
and
prime
Kobe.
Shaq and Kobe right now. Don't have to worry about the Dodgers bullpen if they never get into the game. Smart,
Just
man.
so that you remember.
Man, unreal.
And Yoshinobu Yamamoto, a night after watching what Blake Snell did on the mound there in Milwaukee. I'm not going to say he one-upped him, but he did throw the Dodgers' first complete game in a postseason game in 21 years since Jose Lima did it in 2004. It's also his first career complete game as a big leaguer.
You know, it's amazing. Big leaguer, especially guys that are special like Yamamoto, they're extremely competitive. He saw what Blake Snell did last night. So you know what? You like that performance? I'm going to do my thing. He does just that against a very good Brewers lineup that puts the ball in play. Outstanding job. Yoshi.
That was impressive. I mean, how do you follow up a performance like Snell had last night? You do that, you go a complete game. And it was amazing how he retired the last 14 batters in the row. The way he did it as well. He was also in complete control to complete that game. And he did not allow an at-bat with a runner in scoring position. The only guy who reached second was the first batter who hit the home run. Right. Outside of that, no Brewer ended up at second base. Just tremendous.
As a Brewer, that place in the postseason, especially when the roof is closed, it is as loud a stadium as there is in all of baseball. But what these starters did, they really kept that noise, a hostile environment, great fans, at a minimum. We saw Yoshi. Yes, he gave up that home run. Fans were going crazy, rightfully so, right away. Got back on the bump and really dominated right after that. And that's what starting pitching can do. It can kind of negate that really loud crowd noise on the road. And it was so fun to see, first with Blake and now with Yamamoto. Wow, what a performance.
Tommy, what Yoshinobu Yamamoto did on the mound today to throw a complete game in the postseason where the stakes are higher, it's so much more intense. What was it like just playing behind him tonight?
Incredible. You know, nobody does that. You know, you have starters in the playoffs, usually go 4 or 5 innings now. And we had Snell go 8 yesterday and Yoshi 9 today. It's incredible, and it's so much fun to play behind.
Well, first, just seeing a pitcher go out there, throw a complete game in the postseason, it's so much more intense, higher stakes. What was it like seeing Yoshinobu Yamamoto on the mound tonight?
I wish I could say I'm surprised, but I'm not. I mean, we've all seen it all year long. You know, when he's on, he's in total control. He fills up the strike zone. He's got a lot of different pitches that he can throw for strikes. A lot of pitches that he can throw ball to strike or strike to ball, keep him off balance. And I think the most impressive part about tonight was keeping his composure after the first pitch homer, first pitch of the game homer. And you know, he kept his composure. He didn't let that affect him, and kept us in the game. I mean, it was huge for us to be able to, you know, tie the game and take the lead the very next inning.
Yamamoto becomes the first Dodger in postseason to pitch a complete game since Jose Lima in 2004. What was he doing so well tonight?
He was just executing pitches, getting ahead of guys, getting early soft contact, punching guys out with 2 strikes. Yeah, just super efficient tonight, and that was really special.
To catch Snell last night and to catch Yamamoto tonight, what's it like for you behind the plate there, and how much easier does it make your job?
Yeah, it's still a tough job, but yeah, the last 2 nights have been impressive by those 2. It's been incredible. That's probably the 2 best back-to-back games pitched ever that I've seen. So just glad they're on our side.
Yamamoto dominant tonight, but is there one thing that sticks out to you about his performance that you'll remember?
I mean, I think with him and Snell both, just multiple pitches wherever they want to in the zone. You know, that's just really hard to cover. You can't cover his split, curveball, sinker, cutter, four seam. You just can't cover all that. And the same with, you know, Blake last night. You can't cover his changeup, slider, curveball, fastball when he's putting it wherever he wants to. So, you know, their stuff is unbelievable, and then they're able to maintain it throughout the game, and then their command doesn't suffer throughout the game. They don't miss a spot. So that's what happens.
When you look at just a performance like tonight, how he was able to bounce back after that leadoff home run, is this kind of a perfect example of what you'd want Charlie to see?
Yeah, I mean, Yoshi's mechanics are, that's how you teach it. It's just so simple. And it's beautiful, honestly. It's really pretty. So, yeah, I tell Charlie to watch him. And I mean, if he was left-handed, I'd tell him to watch Blake.
Just having starting pitchers go as deep as Snell and Yamamoto have done for you the last 2 games is something that doesn't really happen in today's game anymore. How and why have you guys been able to pull it off?
Well, I think if you look at the construction of our roster currently, the strength is starting pitching. And, when you can have your most talented pitchers get the most outs, then you're in a good spot. And right now, all 4 of those guys are in a really good headspace. Physically, they're sound. And, you feel good about those guys starting a game and pushing them, and they're prepared for this.
Yamamoto had some big games for you last October, so it's not like this is totally coming out of nowhere. But in the last year, what have you kind of seen come out of him that has allowed him to be the guy he was on this stage tonight?
I see a real confidence. I think that's what it is. I think that, last year, certainly there was a transition. And even in the postseason, I didn't give him a whole lot of leash. And we also had a really talented bullpen, which we clearly leaned on and have talked about, a lot. But I think this year he's got true confidence for me that third time through at pitch 90, he feels that he's the best option. And so I think for me, that just gives me that confidence.
Churio got him on what looked like a pretty good pitch, first pitch. How impressive was it for him to just shake it off, go back to getting ground balls, go back to the plan right away when the crowd's buzzing, everything seems to be going that direction?
It was, but that's who he is, and that's who kind of all of our guys are. And even, those guys take a lead, and we just don't panic, and we keep taking our at-bats, and Yamamoto resets and manages that inning, and I think he just walked 1 tonight. So it just kind of speaks to, obviously talent. There's a lot of talent in the room. It speaks to character in the sense of, whatever happens, it doesn't faze us. And our guys are hungry. We got a lot of work to do. We put ourselves in a good position, but those guys, they're not going to quit. They're going to keep playing hard, and we know that, and we got to play our best baseball.
To both the left-handed hitters and right-handed hitters, it seemed like you went inside a lot. Was there anything that you saw maybe yesterday in Snell's game, or maybe did you take anything out of your last start here that made you think that was the way to go?
右打者、左打者が関わらず、今日インサイド攻めが結構多かったんですけども、昨日のスネル選手の、投球とか、その前のゲームからちょっとプラン立てた感じですか？
マークコーチとか、ウィルの意見とか、いろんな意見を足しながら、組み立てをしました。はい。
I, just communicated with the coach and then also Will Smith before the game, and then we planned at the game how to attack.
It's been 8 years since someone threw a complete game in the playoffs. Just what did it mean to be able to go 9 innings? And
こう8年間でポストシーズンで初めて山本さん完投したんですけども、その意味っていうのはどうですか
？8年ぶりっていうのは、ついさっきまで知らなかったんですけど、とにかく、1イニングずつ集中して、テンポよく投げれたので、なんとか、最後まで試合を締めくくることができてよかったと思います。
I just heard this was first time in 8 years, and I think because that was great for me that I established my rhythm, and then I kind of dictated the tempo pace of the game, so that was great.
After the homer on the first pitch, just 2 hits the rest of the way. You didn't seem to let it bother you at all the rest of the night. How did you stay focused, not let that get to you at all?
初回のいきなりちょっと打たれちゃったホームランの後に、また崩れずに最後までいけたんですけど、そこはどうですか？
本当にこう1人目のバッターだったんで、すごい悔しかったですけど、とにかく切り替えて、次のバッターに向かって、投げていきました。
Yeah, because that was first hitter, and then I feel regrettable that home run, but I reset my mind, and then I just focused on executing my own pitches.
When Doc was in here, he was saying how he didn't really give you a lot of rope in the playoffs last year, but this year he really trusts you to go deep in games. So how meaningful is that he now trusts you to, throw 110 pitches, throw 9 innings in a big game like this?
先ほど監督がちょっと言われたそうなんですけども、去年に比べて今年は、ものすごく山本さんのことを信頼して、できるだけ長いイニングを任せようということを思ったそうですけども、それは山本さんにからするとどういう思いがあるんですか？
信頼してもらえるとか、任せてもらえるっていうのはすごく、選手として嬉しいことだなと、思いますし、ますます頑張りたいなと思いますし、今日は、そう言って信頼してくれて、それにこう結果で、しっかり返せたのが良かったと思います。
As a player, I'm really glad, because Doc and people trust me out there. So today, because I was able to complete a game, and then I think, because just as a player, because that was great.
Max Muncy said he thinks that even after this, you have this other level he could see you getting to, that you could even be better somehow. Is he right? Do you feel like you're pitching at your best? And if not, what more do you kind of want from yourself?
さっきマンシーが、山本さんの今日の投球見てパフォーマンス見て、山本さんはもっと次の高いレベルにいける選手だということだったんですけども、その辺は本人はご自身でどうですか？
今日の試合でもやっぱり自分の成長はすごく感じましたし、初回だったり、反省するところは、またありましたけど、今日の試合を、こういった大切な試合を勝っていくことで、自分の成長につながればいいなとも、思います。
Because I felt, because even though there was some stuff I need to reflect on, but because I'm glad that I could feel growth in myself, so I'd like to keep on going.
That leadoff homer seemed to give them momentum and get the crowd going. How nice or important is it that Teoscar Hernandez responds with a home run in the top of the second, and they give you the lead, so that when you come back out to the mound in the second, you're now pitching with the lead?
テオのホームランの後に、すごいまたすごい歓声が出て、相手のファンからの歓声があって、その後にまたマウンドに戻って集中するっていうのはどれだけ重要でしたか？
初回に打たれたのを、すぐ取り返してもらって、同点になったので、とにかく集中して投げないとなと、思いましたし、その後、リードしてもらって、とにかくその点差を守ることに集中して投げました。
I was focusing on, because hold on to the lead after the run support that they gave me, and then just like I had to concentrate and focus on my execution.
It's a great feeling to have, for sure. To be able to put your team ahead right away from the first pitch of the game. But again, unfortunately, we were unable to add on to that and to keep going. But it's a great feeling. I think it kind of gives the group a breath of fresh air there to going into the game and giving us a lead. But we're able to capitalize on it. We know we have a great team. We know we got great teammates here in this clubhouse that are ready to go and each have that mentality to bring it back here. We know we're going to keep fighting them until the very end.
I think it's a tough lineup, and we all know that from the first one to the hole, they are really good hitters. They know the song really well, and I think that is something that they know how to manage all the moments too and situations, and that's why I think that's why they won the last two games.
Yeah, I mean that's. We got to kind of forget about this and move on and do a better job at it for sure. I trust the guys in the locker room that we'll figure it out, and yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we just got to play better. It's not an ideal start to the series by any means. It's not what you want to get off to, but just got to continue to battle and find a way to get the offense going. I got to be better. We got to be better. Just facts, so fly out tonight, take the off day tomorrow, and be ready to battle in Game 3.
Murph, just the way Snell and then Yamamoto have been able to be in complete control and kind of dictate the at-bats through the duration of the game, what have you seen specifically tonight?
I mean, they were both great. Both those pitchers were as dominant as two pitchers have been. We chased way more than we've chased all year. We've been the best in baseball at not chasing. These pitchers brought out the worst in us. If I would have told you that the Dodgers are going to score 7 runs in 2 games, and what was the outcome in the first two games, I'd say there's a chance we won one of them for sure.
Given the way postseason baseball has been played in recent years, how surprising was it to you to see two starters pitching in the 8th and 9th inning of playoff games 2 days in a row, and what does that sort of mean for the rest of the series?
When they're that's a good question. When they're that good, you know, it is surprising, but they're that good, you know, and they were dominant. Both guys were dominant for 17 innings, so hats off to those two guys. They deserve all the credit. They really do. They deserve all the credit. And that catcher, Smith, deserves a ton of credit because he was right with them, in tune in the game, and very impressive. For those 17 innings were as good as I've seen. So the one thing is you guys might have us counted out, and I understand that. 90% of the teams that have been in this situation don't win the series. But this team has been counted out a lot this year, and I think there's some fight left in them, and it'll be a little tougher path, right, doing it on the road, but we swept the Dodgers early in the year on the road, so at least there's some capability. I know the Dodgers weren't the same team then, but, you know, 10 times this year we've won 4 in a row, so that's also a possibility. You know, we didn't swing the bat the last 2 days, but I don't think a lot of teams would have crushed those two guys the last 2 days, but, yeah, we could do better.
Snell obviously went heavy on the changeups yesterday, and then Yamamoto, he's got a deep mix, but you know, a lot of the off speed kind of hiding the fastball to a degree. Do you feel like that's a concerted effort from them to counter the aggressiveness that you guys typically have on fastballs in the zone?
Yeah, I mean, the difference is the quality of the off speed. You know, this guy's split looks like a heater. Comes out of the same tunnel, it looks exactly the same. He's got an impeccable delivery, so he doesn't miss a lot. And the ball shows up as a heater, bang, goes down. And his heater shows up as a heater and then rises. So it's pretty impressive. But you have to battle, foul off pitches, run his pitch count, do whatever they have to do. And, you know, it's been put in our face now for 2 days. 2 great performances. But that doesn't mean the series is over.
ご視聴ありがとうございました。チャンネル登録と高評価よろしくお願いします。